This video is about Adagio for strings by Samuel Barber. I will explain the most important things about the work and the composer. Samuel Barber was an American composer who lived from 1910 to 1981. He wrote many different types of music. Barber composed for orchestras, choirs, and individual instruments. His music combines modern and classical elements. The Adagio for strings is one of his most famous works. An adagio is a slow piece of music. The name comes from the Italian and means slow or calm. In classical music, an adagio is often part of a larger work. But it can also be a piece on its own. Adagios are usually very emotional and expressive. Barber composed the Adagio for strings in 1936 when he was 26 years old. It was originally the second movement of his string quartet. Barber later arranged this part for string orchestra. The first performance of the orchestral version took place in New York in 1938. The famous conductor Arturo Toscanini conducted the concert. The Adagio for strings is a single, long piece of music. It lasts about 8 to 10 minutes. The music begins very quietly and gradually gets louder. In the middle, it reaches a climax. After that, it gets quieter again. At the end, the music fades away very gently. The piece has a simple melody that keeps returning. The music of Adagio for strings is very emotional. It often sounds sad and thoughtful. The melody is played by the violins and accompanied by the other string instruments. The music builds slowly and becomes more and more intense. There are many long, sustained notes. The harmony often changes between major and minor. The Adagio for strings has a strong emotional impact on many listeners. The music is often perceived as very sad. Some people feel comforted when they hear the piece. The Adagio is often played at funerals or on solemn occasions. It has also been used in many films and television programs. The Adagio for strings is one of the most famous works of American classical music. It is often played in concerts and is part of the standard repertoire of many orchestras. The piece made Barber famous worldwide. Many people who otherwise do not listen to classical music know this work. It is considered a masterpiece of emotional expression in music. The Adagio for strings exists in several versions. The best known is the one for string orchestra. However, there is also the original version for string quartet. Later, Barber wrote a version for choir with the text Agnus Dei. Other musicians have arranged the piece for various instruments. There are even electronic versions of the Adagio. In music lessons, you can learn a lot about music from Adagio for strings. Students can examine the simple but effective melody. They can hear how Barber builds up and releases tension. The piece is a good way to explain how music can express feelings. You can also hear the timbres of the string instruments. Adagio is a good piece to talk about the effect of music.